What's up, everybody? This is Paul from FitSpaz Recovery today, and I'm going to put in about 15-20 minutes to this and see if I get anything positive out of it. You know, every day of life is a different day. It proposes different challenges. I had a hard time last night, and I'm not entirely going to explain why. I was caught off guard by something, and I do happen to think it's bull crap. Human relations, human affairs, whatever you call it. And so this is not me telling you what happened, but rather telling you how I've dealt with something that's unfortunate that happened, something I'm annoyed by. Definitely not, I'm not firing on all pistons today, okay? Like, emotionally, I was upset by something last night, and today, okay, there we go. A little bit of a cut in that. Wanted to make sure I was on airplane mode because many times in the past, I've even talked about it before, I've gotten cut off in the middle by phone calls coming in, and I think the phone should have a setting like, don't interrupt me. But I still wanted to like take messages and stuff. But anyway, I was made very upset about something last night. I don't think it was fair. I think I was treated like a creep, and it was kind of weird, like how bad I was being treated for something that was totally an innocent mistake. And so I had a hard time dealing with it. I had a hard time going to sleep last night. I think I didn't fall asleep until about midnight. And I was just there in the dark, like, and I woke up at 3 a.m. in the morning, and I had trouble sleeping because I was dreaming about what was bothering me. And so I got up for a little while. You know, best thing to do when you can't sleep is to get up and do something and be productive. And I actually did a recording. And even though I'm not going to put the recording out there, it helped me get my feelings out there. It helped me express myself in a way that even though no one's hearing it, it just helped me get it out. I was dignified with it. I was polite, even though I think I was treated in a cruel way, and with a pretty closed. People are being closed-minded about what happened, and I'm just like, whatever. The best you can do in life is honestly, like my friend Howard said this morning when we were texting back and forth, is to keep your own side of the street clean. And that's what I do. It's like I live a life not trying to bother others or pick on others. I used to be a lot meaner of a person. Something like this a few years ago would have had me like publicly, verbally flogging people, and I'm handling it differently now. I think I was treated unfairly, but then again, I have no control over other people. I just have control over myself, and so I stuck with my patterns today, okay? So I finally fell back to sleep, I think around 5:30 or 6, and I slept until 9, and I even had my phone off so that like I wasn't getting my sleep interrupted. And so I got up, I did my same routine for the day that I want to do every day, whether it's a good or bad day. It's my same routine because it sort of aligns my mind. It sets my mind right. I go in there and I do meditation, and it's about getting myself to relax. It's about forgetting for a moment during the day whatever it is that's bothering me, clearing my mind out, allowing myself to have moments of real clarity without much effort. And this morning it was a little tough. Things kept rolling back into my mind, but I did have moments of clarity where I was able to say, you know what, let that go and just experience a stress-free moment. That's one of the things I exercise when I'm meditating mentally, is letting go of all the stresses of everyday life. And no matter what differences are with people, I'm like taking that moment, letting them go, letting my mind wash out, focusing on relaxation, developing relaxation in my spirit. And I relax my whole body, and I literally let things go. When things pop up in my head, I say, let that go, let it flow down the river. Let it leave me, because there's plenty of time in the rest of the day to be burdened by that. But it's also about developing the habit of being able to just have a bad feeling, but recognizing it and letting it go. I'm better at that than I used to be. Like I said, I think I've been mistreated, and I don't care what people tell me about the rules. If rules are broken accidentally, that's totally different from rule being deliberately broken, trying to take advantage of people. And so, how else did I deal with it? Afterwards, I said a prayer, and I even prayed for the people who were pissing me off. And that's honest to God, the truth of what I did. Like, so I humble myself. I say to myself how, like, I'm no better, I'm no worse than any other. I, I pray for the well being of others who, who I'm not even happy with, because that's a way of humbling myself. And so humility is a big thing for me in recovery, honestly, because I used to be so wild and kind of out there. It's important. Modesty is important. And so I never meant to wrong anybody. That's the thing. Um, if I were out there deliberately targeting somebody in the way that I was violating the rules, I could get that. But I was like, it was random. It was like a lottery number came up and it happened to be somebody in a given group, and it's so silly. So I think it was cruel, and the way I dealt with it after that, to meditate, to pray, sticking with these routines that are so good for me, I decided to exercise. And today I did a pretty good workout. It was not a beach body workout. It was just a leg thing that I came up with that doesn't tax my ankle, because I sprained my ankle about 16 days ago, and it's a lot better, but I'm not ready to jump back into full workouts where I'm jumping around or doing lunges and things like that, because of the way it taxes my ankle. And so I'll just tell you really fast. I did 3 sets of sumo squats, no weight, 25 reps for a minute, 28 reps for another minute, 5 pounds holding 5 pounds in my hands, 28 reps for another 10 pounds for a minute. Let's see, regular squats, I did 26 reps, no weight for a minute. I did 28 reps. With both arms, I held a 3-pound weight for each of my arms in the second set for a minute. Third set, 26 reps with 5 pounds in both arms for a minute. And then I do these isometric moves. So I get in a sumo squat. I squat down really low with my toes pointed out, and I did a minute, holding as low as I could squat for a minute, and then I take about a minute off, and then I do another minute holding a 5-pound dumbbell, minute off, do another minute with a 10-pound dumbbell, and then I'm starting to feel it, like, definitely. And so then I did another 3 sets, and this is where I concluded 3 sets of an isometric regular squat. For a minute, I just held a really low squat with my toes more pointed forward, like a traditional squat. Second set was I was holding 5 pounds for a minute. Third set, I was holding an 8-pound medicine ball for a minute. And by the end of that third set, my legs were shaking pretty hard, and I was like, "Ooh, is this over yet?" Because I was keeping time with the timer. And I listened to Megadeth's new album, Dystopia. And don't let that turn you off to me. There's all kinds of music I really like. I have a wall over there full of all types of music: classical, hip hop, oldies, all sorts of stuff. So don't be turned off to me. Classic rock, but I do like metal. And so I was listening to this new album, and it was really good emotionally. How it made me feel, like, helped me blow off steam while I was doing it. My mind was able, in some ways, to leave what was frustrating me. And so this is a positive, healthy form of escape. It wasn't TV. It wasn't drinking some other drink or doing another drug. It was a positive form of directing my morning. And I went to get my teeth cleaned today, and I was in a pretty good mood. It helped to be around a couple people. They keep asking, they're like, "What'd you think of the Bronco game?" I'm like, "I'm glad they won, but I don't like Peyton Manning." And I'm not gonna like Peyton Manning. I want the Broncos to win, okay? I want the guy to be successful, but I mean, like, good luck. in a couple weeks when they play the Super Bowl. Cause yeah. So anyway, I guess my point of this is that I had a. I mean, I can't. Let me just not underestimate how hurt I felt this morning, and there's the part of the steps for recovery that's like that are like make amends with those where it won't cause harm. It's like make amends how? Say I'm sorry. I said I made a mistake. I admitted I made a mistake, but it was an accidental thing. It wasn't me deliberately going like, heh heh, screw the rules. And sometimes I do believe in breaking rules, but I was actually, believe it or not, like it or not, I was of the mind to respect those rules. And someone said, well, you should have checked to make sure so and so. And I'm like, that's impossible. You can't go into someone's group on Facebook and look at all the people who are part of that group. It's just not possible, I don't think. So I inadvertently messaged somebody and I wasn't soliciting them. It's like with everybody, I'm just trying to get to know people and that's it. I didn't say, hey, do you want to buy this? I didn't try to sell something. I don't like selling. I don't feel comfortable selling. That's who I am. So I'm just trying to get to know people. And in the process of building relationships, if they trust me and they want to get going in something, that's fabulous. But no pressure from me. Give me a break though. So yeah, I know I sound a little whiny, but I lost sleep over it, and I knew I would. I was like, I got a message on my phone last night, and I was like, what? What are you talking about? It caught me so out of left field, and so people, I don't believe in. You really got to screw up for me to turn my back on you and ostracize you. If you make an honest mistake, I like to think that I'm a forgiving person, but if you treat me like a leper and you go out there shaming me like I did something bad, trying to build my Beachbody business, which is all about helping people anyway, I'm not sorry. And I look down at you because it's really a cold, cruel thing to ostracize people, especially people you've known, especially for the type of mistake that was made. So I am talking about it right now. I don't really want to talk about it, but I want to stick to the way I've dealt with it. I can't control you people. I can only control myself. And I can only know that I have good intentions all the way with everyone, including everyone that whatever thinks that I did something wrong. I'd like to exchange words with whoever tattled because, hey, I had no idea you were in that group. That I swear to God and swear on my daughter, I had no idea. But how do I deal with it? I get up and I follow my routine. I try to put my mind at peace and I try to use that as an emotional, spiritual alignment for the day. I try to be a good person. I try to be forgiving. I try to be grateful. I try to be thankful. And so all these things help. But it stung today. So I'm not full of words of wisdom. I'm confessing to you, I've been imperfect. There's this part of me that wanted to lash out and say mean stuff, but I didn't. I'm better than I used to be. This is an indication that I'm better than I used to be. And I actually picked up the phone and called some other friends today because I knew that would make me feel better after the way I was just treated last night. Oh, I'm sorry I did that by accident, but I'm not really sorry. I'm sorry it turned out this way because you didn't buy my explanation. You think I'm doing something seedy or underhanded when I'm not. I swear to God, I'm not. I care about people. Your whole attitude implies like I don't care about people. And it reminds me of when I used to do my radio show before. I had a studio downtown where I had a couple grand in expenses every month. I had to pay for rent. I had to pay for my internet connection, my web connection, and my phone lines, and another myriad of taxes and fees and stuff owning a business downtown Denver. And people would be like, he's all like about only making money. And it's like, no, you know what? You have to try and make money when you have expenses. And in life, you know, I want to help people. To me, building a Beachbody business is about helping people And it's about I want to be of service to my fellow man. That's why I'm sitting here trying to talk to people about, if you have substance abuse issues and you're having an off day and you're upset and you feel like using, these are techniques, these are ways you can try and deal with it emotionally. Pick up the phone and call a friend. That's good before you use. Someone you know will understand, someone you know will support you emotionally. Um, and I want to build a business for my daughter. I hope my why is like, I hope to leave something behind someday so that she has the same kinds of choices I've had in my life. Very blessed, not having to get a real regular job, but in her own way, developing her own modal life where she finds happiness and she's productive, but she doesn't have to go do it working 9 to 5 in a shitty dead end job. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I have her interests at heart more than anything. Um, so how to deal with it? My why is to be independent as a person. I've never been more even keel and emotionally mature in my behavior in any way in all of my life more than the last 13 months in the last year. And I attribute it to some of these people who went kind of AWOL on me last night. Okay. Hey, maybe he has a good explanation. No, I'm not hearing it. You broke the rule, and this is a closed group to you now. We're off limits, and all these people, they're mine. Even though it was totally accidental. And it's Facebook's algorithm that did it. And I keep coming back to that. You can sense that I'm hurt by something, right? Well, I am. It's totally silly, but I'm coming to fitness to deal with it. And even I read somebody's post on Facebook today, like, get it done on a Monday. And I don't feel like naming that person because she's in that group. And it's like, oh, I feel self-conscious about having anything to do with any of you now because there's this red flag out on Paul. We all need to, give me a break, people. I want to be nice. Do you want to be nice? I think that it's a healthy idea to make amends with people when you have differences, not to just shame them, ostracize them, and kick them out. Is it really that hopeless? Was I really that hopeless to you? So, this is meant to be therapeutic for me too. Do you relate to anything I'm saying? Like people misunderstanding something completely and overreacting and being like high and mighty and being like, "Ugh." You know how many times that's happened in my life? It never stops hurting. But I have to just make the choice to move on, meet other people, fall down, stand up, brush myself off, keep walking. And if people think I'm whiny, fine. You know what I mean? Like, you've never whined. Oh, he just only cares about making money. That is rubbish. That is such complete and utter rubbish. Give me a break with your rules. And your standards, like, oh, must be punished. You are not one of us anymore. I'm not doing that to anybody myself. I'm going to try and be understanding. People make mistakes. They deserve forgiveness sometimes, but I am not going to do that unless you screw up really badly, okay? I'm not going to contrive some nonsense out of the air. I'm not going to create some phony utopia on Facebook and be like, you're out. Unless someone does something really, really, unless someone's just naturally the meanest spirit. I own these people. These are my people. How dare you message one of these people? How dare you? These are my people. After all I've done for you, you're banished from my kingdom. Be gone with you, and ever shall you return, you shall be shamed. Who's so high and mighty? Like, do you believe in Christ? Seriously, ask yourself if Christ would do that. Get real, people. Get over yourselves. And you know what? Maybe I'm out of line right now. Let me take the modest approach and say, maybe I'm out of line. Maybe I'm going too far. Maybe I shouldn't post this. I feel this way, though. You get what's real with me. That's all there is to it. I'm sorry, people. Not to the people who were mean to me last night. It's like, you don't accept my explanation? Well, on to the next people in life. What can I say? Sorry, I was so rude. Sorry, out of all the hundreds and hundreds of people, I inadvertently, accidentally texted one. Oh my God, I deserve ostracization. Mm-hmm. Sure about that. Your rules can go to stinky butt he double hockey sticks. That's what I think. If you're going to enforce them like that, if if the bond you have between someone is like a thread, you don't have a bond. You have a joke. It's a silly formality. People pretend to care all the time. If they really care, they say, "Okay, I want this to be right between us. Can you explain?" You don't just nastily judge people. You look at the whole set of circumstances. Benevolence. If you believe in Christ, you believe in benevolence. Sorry to preach that. I believe in benevolence. I want to give you a second chance. But you couldn't possibly be wrong, could you? Okay? If not, then I say exercise humility. Beg forgiveness, not from me, but from the world around you, who, when you think you're so much better than the rest of the world, you're getting nowhere. I made that mistake for a long time. I'm better. Self-righteous me. I have some right and some entitlement to bash people and to exile people. Don't do that to people. Those are what cause, I mean, like, ugh, what am I going to say? I'm sorry it happened, because these are people. See, that's the life of Facebook too. Like, I'm looking for real relationships, not these artificial things that come and go on Facebook with such a superficial, feeble wet spaghetti noodle thread that connects us, that binds us. You want to say goodbye so easily? I don't want to be petty. I don't want to be mean. I don't want to be resentful, hateful, judgmental. But sometimes it's necessary in life. Sometimes you got to judge. So keep your own side of the street clean. That's all I'm saying. Today's been a struggle for me, but this is therapeutic in its own way for me. And if I sound whiny, I'm sorry, but I speak my mind. That's who I am. I speak my mind. Let's talk politics and see if you don't want to run out of the room screaming. Doing my best, people. But my best is not always good enough, so I will keep striving to be better. I actually asked myself, and I've asked myself in my head just now talking to you, what would Shalene do? Would she think this is lame? Would she say, like, oh, dude, get over it? Or would she be like, okay, I hear you're hurt, and the way you're emoting it is pretty... I don't know. But I'm asking myself, what would she do? Because I'm looking up to her lately. I think she's brilliant. I aspire to be like that on so many levels. Fair, intelligent, moral. So I try to be a good person. I try to make the right choices in life. If you don't think so, you don't have to be my friend. If you think so, I would love to get going and do stuff with people. Come on, I'll tell you what workouts to do. You don't have to pay anything. I'm not soliciting you. I don't want a dime. Here's a workout for you. All right, I'm going to wrap this up, people. I'm going to listen to it, and I'm going to make a decision about whether I'm going to post it, but it's how I feel. It's how I feel. You get the real me. The real deal here, people. Check out FitSpaz.com. Of course, the podcast is available now in the iTunes podcast directory. I'll get a link to that directly on my site, but you can search FitSpaz in the podcast directory, and I should come up right there. Email me your feedback, paul@fitspaz.com, and don't be hating. Don't be hating. Haters, don't be hating. I'm not hating. If you pissed me off yesterday, I actually prayed for you. Maybe the joke's on me, but I care. I want you to do well. Go in peace to love and serve your fellow human being. That's all, everybody. I think I will touch base with a more fitness-oriented episode tomorrow. But today I just had these feelings. I want to get them out. I don't want to project like I have this perfect life here or anything. On the contrary, I have my off days, and yesterday was one of the most off days starting last night into this morning that I have had in a year and a half, 2 years or something. Like, they really soured it for me, okay? But what responsibility do I take? Accidentally making a misstep. Never doing anything deliberate to screw anyone, because it's my philosophy not to do that. It's my philosophy to do right by you. Do you know that? Everybody should have that philosophy. I don't feel like going after you and being mean. You're getting off easy as far as I'm concerned with the way I've been in the past. I'm a better person now, but I'm still a person with feelings. So, FitSpaz.com. I'm Paul, the producer. This is FitSpaz Recovery. I want to thank Kevin MacLeod for the awesome music, as always, and I will catch you guys next time. I'm going to keep coming. I'm going to keep doing this. Haters, don't be hating.